When I first started training, the gym I worked at was a squash club. So there was a lot of squash courts around, plus the gym in the center. And in the summer, everyone would play golf. And in the fall, everyone would switch from golf into squash. So there was always, every season, a rash of Achilles ruptures in the first 2 weeks of people coming back into playing squash. Because they went right from doing nothing but golf and walking and having beers on the course to playing a very ballistic, dynamic, explosive sport with no lead in, no build up. And these are guys in their 40s, 50s, 60s who have tendons that could only be resemblant of like worn out shock absorbers. And they haven't given themselves time to build up that elasticity and that responsiveness. And they get into a game, don't do any warm up on their own, and boom, the Achilles goes. So that's kind of a prime example of people not managing training load and intensity and explosiveness properly. These are individuals that were underloading those tendons and not prepared for the actual sport they were getting into. Now, as the season would roll on, you would see everyone start complaining of soreness in their hips, soreness in their Achilles, soreness in their shoulder, because they would just play squash all the time. So they went from doing nothing to full gas effort all the time. So for those individuals, there was no ramping up of intensity to get them ready for play and no recovery focus whatsoever. Most recovery after a game of squash is a pint of beer. So for those individuals, that like it just changing that culture, it didn't occur. So it was one of those kind of things where it gave a really clear example in front of you of how important it is to manage training volume, training stress, and make sure that you're able to fluctuate as you go through a training season. Building it up properly throughout the start of the season to get you ready to play, and then managing recovery throughout the season so that when you have long tournaments, you're not feeling like you're completely demolished by the end of the weekend.